The psychology of why people betray you, how trust breaks, and how awareness restores inner stability. Introduction. Betrayal is one of the most painful human experiences. Not because of what is lost, but because of what is shattered. Trust is not just emotional. It is psychological. When someone betrays you, the mind does not only feel hurt. It feels confused. It feels destabilized. It questions reality. How could they do this? Did I miss something? Was it always like this? Today we explore betrayal calmly. Not to create suspicion. Not to fuel bitterness. But to understand the psychology behind it. Stoicism teaches that clarity reduces suffering. Psychology teaches that understanding patterns restores power. Betrayal does not begin with action. It begins within a conflict. Part 1. What betrayal really is. Betrayal is not always dramatic. It is not always lies or abandonment. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is disloyalty in private. Sometimes it is choosing self-interest over integrity. Psychologically, betrayal is the moment when a person violates a shared expectation. Trust is built on assumed consistency. Betrayal breaks that assumption. Stoicism reminds us that expectations must be examined. Psychology reminds us that humans are inconsistent under pressure. Part 2. Why betrayal hurts so deeply. Betrayal attacks the nervous system. The brain experiences it as threat. Trust equals safety. Betrayal equals danger. This activates fear, shock, anger, grief. The mind struggles to reconcile two realities: the person you trusted and the person who hurt you. This cognitive dissonance creates pain. Stoicism teaches acceptance of reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Healing begins when illusion dissolves. Part 3. Self-interest versus integrity. At the core of betrayal is conflict. Psychologically, people betray when self-interest outweighs values. Fear, greed, insecurity, status, approval, comfort. When pressure rises, values are tested. Many people believe they are loyal, until loyalty becomes costly. Stoicism teaches that character is revealed under pressure. Psychology agrees. Betrayal is often not personal. It is prioritization. Part 4. Why familiar people betray more. Betrayal rarely comes from strangers. It comes from proximity. The closer someone is, the more opportunity exists. Familiarity creates access. Access creates temptation. People know your vulnerabilities, your habits, your blind spots. Psychology shows that betrayal often occurs where boundaries are weak. Stoicism teaches vigilance without paranoia. Trust should be conscious, not blind. Part 5. Unspoken expectations. Many betrayals occur without explicit agreements. We assume loyalty. We assume discretion. We assume alignment. But assumptions are invisible contracts. When violated, the pain feels real, even if the agreement was never spoken. Stoicism teaches clarity. Psychology teaches communication. Unspoken expectations create hidden risks. Part 6. The role of envy and resentment. Envy is a quiet driver of betrayal. When people feel inferior, unseen, or overshadowed, resentment grows. Resentment seeks release. Betrayal becomes a way to regain power. Psychologically, envy corrodes loyalty. Stoicism warns against comparison because it poisons relationships. Part 7. Weak boundaries invite betrayal. When boundaries are unclear, people test limits. Overgiving, overtrusting, overexposing. These create imbalance. Imbalance creates opportunity. Betrayal often follows unchecked access. Stoicism teaches moderation, not withdrawal, but balance. Part 8. Why betrayal feels unexpected. Betrayal feels sudden because warning signs are subtle. Small dishonesty, inconsistent behavior, deflection, rationalization, lack of accountability. The mind often ignores these signals because trust wants stability. Psychology calls this optimism bias. Stoicism teaches realism. Part 9. People betray to avoid discomfort. Betrayal is often avoidance. Avoiding confrontation. Avoiding honesty. Avoiding responsibility. rather than face discomfort. Some choose the easier path. Stoicism teaches facing discomfort early, to avoid greater suffering later. Part 10. Betrayal and Identity. People betray when identity feels threatened. Fear of losing status. Fear of exposure. Fear of inadequacy. Betrayal becomes defense. This explains why betrayal often happens during change, success, growth, transition. When dynamics shift, loyalty is tested. Part 11. Why betrayal repeats in patterns. Some people experience betrayal repeatedly. This is not because they deserve it, but because patterns attract similar dynamics. Overtrusting, ignoring red flags, fearing boundaries, avoiding conflict. Psychology teaches pattern awareness. Stoicism teaches self-responsibility without self-blame. Part 12. How Stoicism views betrayal. Stoicism does not excuse betrayal, but it does not dramatize it. It teaches this truth. People act according to their character, not your worth. This reframes pain. Betrayal says more about the betrayer than the betrayed. Part 13. How to respond to betrayal. Reaction intensifies suffering. Pause restores clarity. Anger is natural, but dwelling is optional. Stoicism teaches response over reaction. Psychology teaches regulation before resolution. Part 14. What not to do after betrayal. Do not chase explanations endlessly. Do not beg for closure. Do not rewrite your worth. Do not become cynical. Betrayal does not require self-abandonment. Part 15. Learning discernment without suspicion. Discernment is awareness, not paranoia. Observe behavior over words. Consistency over promises. Pressure over comfort. Stoicism teaches measured trust. Part 16. Rebuilding trust wisely. Trust should be rebuilt slowly, based on behavior, not apology. Psychology shows that remorse without change is manipulation. Stoicism values action over speech. Part 17. Emotional detachment after betrayal. Detachment is not coldness. It is clarity. You release the illusion, not the humanity. Detachment protects dignity. Part 18. Forgiveness and self-respect. Forgiveness is internal. Reconciliation is optional. Stoicism teaches peace without dependence. Forgiveness frees the mind, not the betrayer. Part 19. Growth through betrayal. Betrayal sharpens awareness. It teaches boundaries, discernment, self-trust. Psychology calls this post-betrayal growth. Stoicism calls it wisdom earned through adversity. Part 20. Closing. Betrayal hurts because trust mattered. That means you are capable of connection, not naive. The goal is not to close your heart, but to open your eyes. Stoicism teaches strength without bitterness. Psychology teaches awareness without blame. When you understand why people betray, you stop internalizing their choices. Clarity replaces confusion. Discernment replaces fear. And calm returns. Trust becomes conscious. Boundaries become natural. And peace becomes possible again.